Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's NCcareers webinar. We're really excited to have you all here with us today. For this session, we'll be focusing on using NCcareers with job seekers. So we know that many of you either work directly with job seekers or maybe navigating your own career journey. So we wanted to provide some guidance on how you can support others when using NCcareers effectively. So for those who don't know me, my name is Anshul Gupta. I'm the NCcareers Content and Engagement Coordinator. I'm also joined today by my colleague, Jamie Vaughn, who's our NCcareers Manager, and many of you probably have met Jamie before. He'll be helping us manage the chat, post some links, and help answer some questions when we get to the Q&A portion. But for today, we'll start with a quick overview of NCcareers for those who may be new to the platform. Then we'll dive into some specific scenarios on how job seekers can use NCcareers when navigating where they are on their career journeys and planning. But to start, we wanted to share a little bit about the organization where Jamie and I are housed. So we're housed within the North Carolina Department of Commerce's Labor and Economic Analysis Division, also known as LEAD. So essentially, the division is the labor market shop for the state of North Carolina, and we cover several key functions. So we have a team focused on labor market production, collecting information about the labor market, so such as unemployment rates, employment, industry and occupation data and wages. We also have a data analysis and research team that looks at big data analysis, program evaluations, employment outcomes from the Common Follow-up System and NC Tower. Then we have the economic and policy analysis team, which Jamie and I are housed in. So this team manages or supports things like the employment projections that are currently out through 2034, along with other labor market information tools, publications, and economic development reports like the Employer Needs Survey. Once the data is collected, analyzed, we then publish it through a range of platforms and publications, including various data dashboards, our lead feed blog, our LMI Tuesday sessions, and we also incorporate some of that labor market data into NCcareers as well. So this is NCcareers. For those who may or may not be familiar, if you type in nccareers.org, it'll bring you directly to this page, and we'll walk through the key resources on the platform. So just to quickly cover what is NCcareers. NCcareers is a state-owned resource that's completely free. Our team at LEAD manages the site because the labor market information is the backbone of the platform. But you can see on the right-hand side here, we have multiple governing partners spanning from NC Works, Department of Public Instruction, community colleges, Department of Health and Human Services, all within the workforce and education space. And why it made the most sense for our team to manage it because we are providing the data that's on NCcareers or providing the labor market data. The goal of the site is to make high quality career exploration freely available and accessible to everyone. So whether that's middle schooler exploring career options for the first time or an adult job seeker figuring out their next move. NCcareers is designed to meet people where they're at on their career journey, so portable through education and into the workforce. We're also proud to be nationally recognized and have won national awards. The site has also become a blueprint for other states as well as they develop their own career exploration platforms. We're also excited for the growth that the site has seen. And in just the past year, we've had over 1 million users access NCcareers and nearly 70,000 career development plans created. So the site has been around for almost 6 years now. And since then, the growth has just continued to grow. And a lot of that has been due to folks like you all providing us the feedback and tools that you're looking for to make sure that the site fits the needs for everyone in North Carolina. So really appreciate all your feedback and helping us continue to grow the site. All right, so now we're going to walk through just quickly some of the key resources on NCcareers. You'll notice that the platform is designed to meet users at any point on their career exploration journey. So whether they're in a discovery phase or mapping out a career path or looking at education or training opportunities they may need, NCcareers is a resource, a one-stop resource where you can access all that information in one place. So the first section is the Find My Interest page. This is a great starting point for anyone who's in a self-discovery phase. We have several different self-assessments and activities to help users identify occupations that align with their skills, values, personalities, or interests. So great for job seekers who may be still trying to figure out what they could be interested in. Any of these assessments would be a great starting point. But we'll highlight specific tools once we get into more of the scenarios. But again, all these are a great starting point. Next is the Explore Occupations page. So here users can browse information on over 800 occupations. To narrow that number down, they can use the results from one of the assessments in the previous slide, or we also have filters directly on this page where you can narrow down occupations at a particular salary level, education, career cluster, and there's also a search bar as well if you know what occupation you're looking for. Once a user finds an occupation they want to learn more about, they can click on it and it takes them to the full occupation profile page, which is the screenshot on the far right. So these profiles have comprehensive information covering what that occupation does, what is the wage range, job outlook, work environment, and so much more. So this pulls data from multiple different sources, labor market information from LEAD, the BLS Occupational Handbook, ONET, videos from Career One Stop. So this again, users or job seekers don't need to go to multiple different sources to be able to find information. They can go directly on this page and find the information that they're looking for. Another thing to note that the wages and job growth and demand information is defaulted to statewide. So on the occupation profiles, you'll see statewide wages and job demand information, but you can also adjust it based on different regions across the state of North Carolina. So if users would like to see what the wages or job growth looks like for Winston-Salem or Asheville, they can adjust the geographies as well in the occupation profile pages to be able to see the differences there too. Next resource is the Career Journey Builder. So this lets users map out a career path three ways: by education, so what can you do, what can I do with my education, by current occupation, so what's my next step, and also by goal career, so what path or what stepping stone occupations help me lead to my goal career. And then once you've selected a starting point, you then start building out a visual roadmap for your career pathway. And you can learn more about what would be either a good next step or what would be a good stepping stone occupation to get to your goal career, because it's important for us to identify what occupations that we're interested in, but also think about and map out a career path or what a career journey could look like. We also have an education and training page, so this connects occupation information to institutions across North Carolina that offer programs and training related to that occupation. So if someone is interested in a specific occupation, they can see what education is required and the institutions across North Carolina that offer that program or training. And this is based on the North Carolina Public Universities, independent colleges, and community college system. And then finally, every good career exploration journey ends with finding a job. So NCcareers doesn't post job listings, but we do link out to NCWorks and Indeed.com job boards. So users can come to this page, select an occupation, and then see directly what are the live postings in their area. So that essentially covers all the features on NC Careers. Again, free to access, anyone can access at any time without having to create an account. But if users want to save any of their results, like assessments, occupations that they've bookmarked, or programs that they're interested in, we do recommend creating a free account through any of these three options. So currently on NC Careers, there are three sign-in options. The one on the top, CFNC, anyone can create a free CFNC account and it lasts indefinitely. Some younger job seekers may already have CFNC credentials that they can use to log into NC Careers. The second, NC EdCloud, students who are in the K through 12 public education system can use their existing NC EdCloud credentials to access NC Careers. And then finally, NCWorks, so adult job seekers with NCWorks accounts can also use those same credentials to log into NC Careers. One important note about the NC Works accounts, the information that's completed on NC Careers, if someone logs in with their NC Works account, doesn't transfer back to the user's NC Works account that they've completed on the NC Works site. The two platforms are separate and there's no linkage in between, but they can still use the same login information to log into NC Careers. All right, so that's a quick overview of just some of the key resources and features that we have on NC Careers. And if you'd like more in-depth training or questions or information, we're always happy to help jump on a call and walk through any of these in more depth. But now let's transition into some scenarios of how job seekers can use NC Careers to explore options and navigate a path moving forward. All right, so our first scenario here, we have Monique. She's 25 and lives in Statesville, has an associate's in business, and has spent 4 years working as a real estate broker. So currently, she has relocated to Statesville and wants to hit the ground running. She spent 4 years building a career in real estate and knows that she has solid marketable skills, but she's wondering if this move might also be the right moment to explore what else she could do. So she's in a new location. What else is there out there for her? Is real estate broker the best track, or are there other options or other pivots she should consider? So, before exploring career options, Monique can start by grounding her search in what she actually may need to earn. So, NC Careers has two reality check tools, a lifestyle reality check and a budget reality check. So, in this scenario, we're going to focus on the budget reality check. So, once you've selected the budget reality check, you can now input your location. So, she's currently in Statesville. And then she can also include what her anticipated salary could look like. And if she's not too sure what a real estate broker might make in Statesville, she can type in the occupation, and then the tool will automatically add the annual salary range for that occupation, or the median salary range. And once she submits, then she'll be taken to the budget check tool. And at the top here, we can see her location is in within the Statesville area. She can also adjust her household status, so it automatically defaults to single, no kids. But we know family is also a factor to consider when thinking about costs, so she can also adjust there as well. But from there, she can also fill out her anticipated monthly expenses. So we get an idea of what her remaining monthly budget is based on her yearly salary. And then she can fill out her anticipated monthly expenses across various categories like housing, utilities, food, clothing, transportation, and more. So just some quick shots of the tool. So for example, for housing, she can select whether she plans to own, rent, live with family. Once that's selected, the tool then suggests an amount based on the data that's in the reality check tool. But if that's not what she plans to spend, maybe she plans to spend a different amount on housing, then she can also adjust directly in that block the amount as well. And then as she's going through it, the monthly expenditure will also continue to decrease. So then you get a sense of how much you have remaining in your budget. And then similarly, as she moves along through each category, we can see what she can plan to spend and she can input each expenditure. And then also taxes are automatically factored in as well based on her expenses. And currently, her remaining budget is still green because she hasn't gone over budget yet. But if she did, then it would be highlighted in red. But now that she's submitted her expenditures, her results page shows her total monthly spending, remaining budget, and a breakdown of what percentage went to each of the categories. So in Monique's case, it looks like her real estate income could support her desired lifestyle, and now she can also look into other opportunities as well. So now that she has a clearer financial picture, she may want to explore what other opportunities there are for her within real estate. So on the occupation profile, she can search for real estate brokers, and when she clicks on it, it will be taken to the occupation profile page. So starting from the occupation profile, she can look at the similar occupations block that's in the profile, which lets her know which related roles she may not have considered within the real estate space. So this could probably be considered more of a smaller pivot that still draws on her existing experience. And within this block, each of these links also link to another occupation profile so she can continue to learn more. But this lets her know what occupations could still interest me that's related to what she already has a skill set in. If she wants to make more of a bigger pivot and see what are other opportunities out there based on her interests, another section she can look at on the occupation profile is the interest section. So this is based on the 6 career cluster Holland codes, and the Holland codes that align with real estate broker are enterprising and conventional Holland codes. So she can go back to the Explore Occupations profile, filter by those 2 Holland codes in the interest filter, and then gets a filtered list of all the occupations within these 2 Holland codes. So this gives her a much broader set of occupations that may match more of her interests or personality. And we can see here that these many of these fall outside of real estate. So this could require additional education or training, since this would be a more bigger career pivot if she were to pursue occupations that are more aligned with her interests versus her current background. Next, she can also compare these occupations side by side. So if she decides she's looked at all the occupations within her interest, she's interested in just pursuing the real estate route, but wants to see a comparison between the similar occupations, we have a compare occupations tool that's available on each occupation profile, and she can compare up to 3 occupations to get a sense of the differences with the wages, required education, job outlook, and more to give her a sense of what the differences could look like. And outside of the occupations, if she's focused on just being a real estate broker, she can also compare the differences in wages and demands across various regions in North Carolina. So for in this example, or in this screenshot here, she can see what is the difference between the median wage for real estate broker in Raleigh-Durham versus Greensboro versus Wilmington, and get a sense of, do I want to live somewhere else, or is there other places I should explore? And also gives her an idea of the different wages and demands within each of these areas. And then finally, once she has more direction of which occupation she may want to pursue, she can go back to that occupation profile page, go to the job listing block within that occupation profile page, and click on the live job postings available in NCWorks. And it'll take her directly to the NCWorks job search page. So she'll be able to find live job postings in her area and start exploring there. So that covers Monique's scenario, exploring some lateral moves, considering big career shifts, and also using NCcareers to understand what the local market is looking like in different regions across North Carolina. So our second scenario is Jameis. He's 30, lives in Charlotte, and has a bachelor's degree in management. He has worked in hospitality industry since high school. He enjoys his management role, but is tired of working weekends and evenings. He wants to find a new job that will advance his career with a more regular schedule. So he's asking himself, am I ready for a career advancement? And what opportunities are there for me to advance in? What could be my next step? So first, he may want to think about, has he maxed out in salary? So he can go to the occupation profile page that aligns with hotel front desk manager and review the wages block. So this section shows the wage range from the lower end all the way to the higher end wage and not just the median wage, because salary is based on a lot of different factors. It could be experience, education, location, industry, and based on James's 4 years of experience in his role, we can gauge that he's probably earning closer to that higher end wage, and he can determine that based on his current salary. And if he is making closer to the higher end wage, that's a signal that it's probably time to look at what's next, because there's probably limited career growth opportunities within his current role in terms of getting a higher pay. So now that he's decided, okay, I'm ready to advance, I want to see what could be a good next step. He can then go to the occupation profile and go to the current occupation block to launch the Career Journey Builder. So once he clicks on Get Started, we're automatically taken to the Career Journey Builder and we're starting to map out a career pathway. The tool then generates a list of occupations that has similar skills and represent sort of a step up in terms of salary. So he can explore these options, and maybe the first one, lodging managers, seems like a natural progression for him. So if he clicks on it, he can then continue to start mapping out a career pathway, and it's added to his career journey from there. But he may also want to know, he has a bachelor's in management, so he may want to explore what's there beyond hospitality, or are there other careers he should consider based on his education. So we can go back to the Career Journey Builder and this time start with his education and enter his degree in management. And now we see a set of occupations align with his education. So some of them may be outside of hospitality, but could offer more of a traditional work schedule that he's looking for, because he's looking for something that may not require him to work so many evenings or weekends. So as he's looking through this list, general and operations manager may seem like a good fit or may want to learn more about. So if he clicks on it, he will again be taken to a career path. Now we can look at another possible career journey for himself. But he may not know too much about general operations manager. What education do they need? Would it be what steps should he take in order to pursue this occupation if he's interested? So whenever you see an occupation, if you click on it, occupation name, if you click on it, it will always take you to an occupation profile page. So now he can get a better understanding of what general operations managers do and what education does he need and where can he get it. So in the education and training block on the occupation profile page, he can see in the education section what is the typical education requirement that employers look for. And it says most require a 4-year bachelor's degree, but some do not. And then you can see a list of associated programs and majors and see if his degree in management falls under there. And based on his background, it looks like he's in alignment. But if someone comes in with an associate's degree or would need additional training, they can click on one of these programs and then see a filtered list of institutions across North Carolina that would offer that program of interest to give them the education and training required to pursue that occupation. So that essentially covers James's scenario using NCcareers to confirm where he stands, map out a path forward, and also understand what his options are for education and experience that's needed to make that possible. So, quick summary. Both scenarios, they came into NC Careers with different needs, one sort of navigating a fresh start in a new area, and other looking to see where he can grow beyond what he's already doing. So with Monique, we were able to explore her real estate background and open some doors to what could be some new opportunities, whether that's making a lateral move or other career transitions she may not have considered. And in the second scenario, using the occupation profile, we were able to map out what advancement could look like, either from his current occupation or from his education, and seeing where he may want to move into or step into. So let us know if you've encountered similar scenarios or other scenarios and how you may have used NC Careers to help navigate those. We'd love to hear from you in the chat, or if there's scenarios that you encounter with your clients or job seekers that you're not sure how to address or how to use NC Careers to address them, feel free to pop them into the chat, or if you have any additional questions, we can see if we can answer those in real time as well. But as you're thinking about that, wanted to quickly talk about a new tool that we hope to launch to NC Careers soon. This will be a business listing tool. These are screenshots from our demo site, so it may look slightly different once it's live. But on each occupation profile, there will be a new industry and employers block, which will list industries that that occupation falls under, along with companies within those industries in North Carolina. So in this example here, we used the accounting occupation profile. So once you've selected an industry, you'll then be taken to the business listing page. So this will show you employers within that industry. You can filter by location. So if you want to see which employers are in your area or adjust by company size. A couple of important notes about this upcoming tool. This is not a live job posting tool. It will give you a sense of which employers in a given area might potentially hire for that occupation and gives you an idea of the different industries within that occupation. But if you're looking for live job postings, definitely continue to use the NC Works live job boards. The data also comes from a third-party provider, Data Axle. So if you're familiar with the business search tool on our lead analytics page, it's essentially from that same data source, but we've formatted it for NC Careers. But again, this data is from a third-party provider, so there may be some inconsistencies on there as well. But again, this will be a great resource when thinking about ways to generate leads and thinking about which employers could potentially hire within your area. All right, and then one resource just wanted to quickly highlight. We have educator resource section on NC Careers where you'll be able to find printable tools and resources and guides on career exploration. So for example, we have a career exploration guide on re-entry, a general career exploration guide, our Star Jobs brochures, as well as some lesson plans. So if you're looking for more printable tools and resources, or just more information on how you can use NC Careers when supporting students or clients, definitely check out this page. And then finally, that essentially wraps up for today's session before we wrap up or before we transition into Q&A. But our next session will be on June 17th and be on the lookout for more details. We'll have more details to share soon. And then finally, feel free to connect with us. Feel free to reach out to Jamie and I. We also share updates on our social media and mailing list channels. So once the business search tool is live, we'll also share it on there. And if you're interested in additional labor market information or data that our team at Lead produces, definitely check out our analytics.nccommerce.com page for more insight on those.